Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. Now, this situation, I'd say, has gotten out of hand very quickly. So, allegedly, apparently, right on YouTube, the people who run the channel Abba and Preach, the two guys, they made a video where they interviewed the woman, Daisy Chin, who was claiming to be pregnant with Walter Weeks' baby. Now, I guess there's this back and forth that they have with the Fresh and Fit guys. You know, there's some, beef going on there. And I guess Myron decided he had to get his lick back by making this most recent video, basically where he came up with all these documents alleging that this woman was an escort, that she stole money from people, that she did unethical things on previous jobs, basically trying to make this woman seem like she's a criminal. But I'm scratching my head trying to understand that if this woman was the criminal that they're trying to make her out to be, how in the world was she able to even immigrate to the U.S.? Because the last time I checked, criminals are not allowed to have visas and enter into other countries. Unless they changed that recently. And even if they did, and she is a criminal as he claims her to be, where was all this information? Where were all these documents? Where were all these alleged receipts whenever he first started dating her? See, this is another thing that his followers, the people on his page, were calling him out about, because whenever they first approached him, because allegedly they did whenever he first started dating this woman, they said, "We think this woman is an escort." That's what they said. That's what they confronted him about. Now, Myron was the first person to go to bat for Walter and say that she was not an escort, that she was like the daughter of some rich person. That is what came out of Myron's mouth in defense of Walter and his relationship with this woman. But now all of a sudden, after this man has allegedly lied to this woman, deluded her into thinking that he wanted an actual relationship with her up until she allegedly got pregnant with his baby and then threw her under the bus, and now she's angry and she's done all of this stuff. Now all of a sudden she's an escort and she has a shady work history. And posting people's work history like that is actually quite unethical. Whether or not she actually did all this stuff or not, it's still very unethical, and I would certainly hope, let me be honest, I really don't because I don't care, but I would certainly hope for their sake that they obtain that information legally. If they didn't, obviously that would reflect badly back on them. Now let's just say in the case that she was an escort. Like I said, I don't know that information with 100% certainty, but let's just say that she was. That would still once again reflect badly back on the both of them. It would reflect badly back on Myron because don't they claim to pride themselves on vetting people? Wasn't he working with Homeland Security, so he should know allegedly how to, get into people's backgrounds and find out who they really were? So like I said, one moment they're swearing up and down, he specifically, that she's not an escort, but now all of a sudden they have all these receipts to claim that she is. Even his followers in his comment sections were saying the math is not mathing on that. And as for his BFF Walter, the fact that he would still be with her if he knew that was the truth after what they preach on their channel, on their platform, that would still reflect badly back on him, especially bringing her to meet his family. So the guy who preaches not to mess with women of the night would bring a woman of the night to meet his mother, would be caught up in videos where they're giggling and smiling and kissing each other and hugged up like an actual couple. So either he's being hypocritical again, he's not telling the truth because he wants to save face, or he didn't actually know and they didn't want to admit it because once again it reflects very badly back on him still anyways. I personally believe the only reason why, or the reasons why he made that video was to get his lick back, to get revenge, to have something to say against what them other dudes on that other channel did, because he was mad because they brought that woman on there and interviewed her, to stand up for and defend Walter, and also because he wanted to destroy whatever little credibility she might actually have had. And he confirmed that by what he said out of his own mouth during that video. He basically said, now is this somebody we want to believe? Is this somebody we should listen to? Anyways, even his own followers and supporters were calling him out on the hypocrisy, and even going so far as to saying that Myron should give him the boot because he was risking the brand, if you will. That's why he made that video where he was screaming into the microphone, dang near about to bust a blood vessel. Now, allegedly, now they're in a legal battle, and apparently the lawyer, I guess, told him not to say anything, which I can believe that, because in these kind of situations, usually the lawyers tell people not to say anything. They tell them don't get on social media and make this big scene, because 9 times out of 10, especially when we're dealing with, let's just be blatantly honest, black men and non-black women, if they actually have to go to court, The fact that they put out videos like this can actually be used against them, or at least it can be ammunition to be used against them. Take the Jonathan Majors case as an example. There are still people today who can't wrap their heads around the fact that these lawyers be watching people. The judges be watching people. They have the same access to YouTube, Twitter, social media. The jury watches this stuff go down on social media, and they formulate opinions, and sometimes those opinions don't work out for the person who they all think that they should work out for. For example, somebody could have been watching that video that he put out by himself and then end up on the jury and then come to a conclusion where they say, well, you know what? I don't like how he got onto his platform and used it as a way to get revenge against this woman by putting all her business out there in the media, constantly calling her a 304 along with other disrespectful names, along with other women who they've said this about, and also low-key weaponizing his followers against people. Because of that conclusion that they've drawn based off of what came out of his mouth and what he chose to do, now they will make a decision against him, not in his favor. I honestly believe to this day that's how they got Jonathan Majors. Once again, the jury, the lawyers, the judges, they don't like it when you try to do their jobs before they get to an actual trial or before they actually get to court. Even if you're in the right, by taking matters into your own hands, low-key, legally, some people be hurting themselves. But again, if this is what people want to do, hey, I'm not going to stop them. Two last things I want to mention concerning this situation, because I didn't want this video to be very long. So for one, once again, them putting out all this information doesn't undo what he did. It doesn't undo the entanglement, if you will. And two, none of this would have happened had not he messed with her. Once again, unprotected. Had not he had unprotected relations with this woman, whether she's actually pregnant or not. None of this would be blowing up in their faces if he wasn't a hypocrite. Once again, even his own followers pointed this out. Now, this is another thing I will say, because unlike Fresh and Fit, I know how to take actual accountability for the things that I do wrong. If it does turn out that she's not pregnant, because as I'm sure I've said before somewhere on this channel, there are plenty of women who do lie about these kind of situations and that do set out to screw men over. If it turns out that she is lying about being pregnant, I'll take my video down, including this one. And before anybody tries to say that I made my videos to try and hate on Fresh and Fit, first of all, they're not even important enough to hate on. And even if they were, I wouldn't waste the time or the energy. I've said this before. I'm very adamant about if you're going to say something, then be about it. You don't get to be on social media and drag other people for filth for doing certain things while you're doing certain things behind closed doors. And then expect people to not call you out about it. And then on top of that, have the audacity to get mad when people do call you out about it. Ninja, please. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think and how y'all feel about all of this down in the comments below. Respectfully, don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all all have a very blessed, beautiful, and safe day.